Hello, everyone. Hello, 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 hello. Hello. Hi, Wally. Hi, Alchemist Sia. Hi, Roxelle. Hi, Miley, Maricela. Um, Una, Luna, Buna. I love that. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Sabine. Okay, let's do some rose water spray. Let's spritz it up a little in here. Welcome to Untangled. We are on episode 62. It's so good to be here with you guys. Thanks for joining. Say hello in the chat box if you can, where you're from, what you're feeling, what you're not feeling, what you like, what you don't like. Hi, Arkansas, Danny from Arkansas, Melissa from Minnesota, um, Steph. I got the rose. I've had this rose spray forever. I don't use it very often, but hi, Wes. Hi, Bridget. Good to see you. Wes from planet Earth. Hi, Israel. Feeling chilled and tired. Hi, Spain. Hi, Lincoln, California. Okay, let's do this. What? Once again, we have wild hair. Wild hair. Who cares? Welcome to Being Human. Hi, Kate. Good to see you, my friend. All right, so Untangled is a series that I do. And yes, I'm putting lip gloss on right now. It's a series I do every Tuesday, 9 a.m. California time. I did not do it last week because I was traveling back from Dublin, Ireland, and I literally was hungover from jet lag. But in Untangled, we talk about everything about being human, evolving, feeling things that we don't want to feel, just talking about talking about just the basic humaning on this planet right now as we go through a massive evolutionary shift in human consciousness. Um, it's not about fixing things in your life, changing things in your life, getting rid of things in your life. It's learning how to be in what this is. You know, there's a deep. Well, before I get into whatever we're going to talk about today, thank you for being here, everybody. So good to be here. I have one announcement. One announcement. Massive shifting, Nicole. You're right. Okay, my one announcement is this. Two announcements. First announcement is if Align 4.0 is open for registration. We start October 4th. If you have not done any of my Align classes, they're life-changing. It's where you connect with me live every day for 21 days, and we sit and go inward. And we do a daily practice of observing and watching and being. And there's pointers, and there's hundreds of people from all over the world that join. You can't join live, you get the replay. It's, to me, the most important practice that we could be doing right now. And it is underrated and massively transformative and yet very simple because there's nothing to do. I don't give you any answers. I don't fix anything for you. I don't tell you what to do. We just sit with ourselves, and it's absolutely profound. So Align 4.0 is the registration link is down below. We start October 4th. We end October 24th. It's $59 for 21 days, and we do it every day. And it's pretty miraculous what it can do. And I honestly feel like this is something that I'll be doing for quite some time, because what we are experiencing right now, we don't get through using the same tools and tactics and programs and conditioning that we have used most of our lives. And that's the difficult piece about this shift in consciousness. All the books that we've read in the past, all the classes that we've taken, all the ways in which we have tried to fix and get out of and figure out and change aren't going to work. They're just not. And they're not going to work because we're shifting out of frequencies. Okay? So your body is literally shifting frequency. And when that happens, what once resonated and worked is no longer going to resonate and work. And so the things that you have done in the past, programming that you have done in the past to get yourself through something or out of something, to figure things out, to find solution, it's not going to work. This is just the natural process of how a collective of consciousness shifts. A body of humans shift. And the crazy thing is that what we're going to realize, what you and I are all going to start, what you and I and everyone will start to eventually realize, is that the only way through this uncomfortable squeeze that we're in, which is breaking out of deep, deep conditioning, which is believing that your thought and believing that your emotion and believing that your behavior, that is truly what we are doing here. Everything else is secondary. Everything. Learning about all the bullshit that the government's doing, learning if you're a starseed or not, learning if there's aliens coming or not, learning if there's pedophilia and adrenochrome, or whatever that word is, and the weather's being manipulated. That's all secondary, third, fourth. That is nonsense compared to what we actually are here to do first and foremost, which is break out of the illusion, the deep, deep programming. Breaking out of the matrix, by the way, is not recognizing what you're in out there. That's not breaking out of the matrix. Big deal. So you're recognizing what's happening out there. Breaking out of a matrix, breaking out of the illusion, breaking free is going so deeply inward that you break free from thought, you break free from emotion, you break free from behavior, which means that you realize that you are not thought, emotion, behavior patterns. And when we start doing that, and when we continue to commit to doing that, then the character that we think we are steps into its truest expression, which is spirit in form, or God in form, or consciousness in form, which is why you're here on the planet. It's your number one purpose. And then everything else is secondary, and then you can literally go and change the world. And the way that you break free, the way that you and I are doing this, is not by trying to find all of the steps and, solutions to get out of what we're in. It's learning how to be in what you're in, realizing that it's not you. That's first and foremost what you're doing on the planet. And the way that you do that is you have to get into your body. I think I've talked about this in every single Untangled for like the last 6 months, embodiment. And everything that the world is doing right now is to take you out of your body. It's boring. It's not entertaining. It's not fun. But it's the most powerful and potent thing that you could be doing right now. So if you pay attention, and if you're recognizing what's happening on the planet right now, I don't know about you, but every night when I'm going to bed, when I'm laying in bed and it's quiet and it's still, I reflect back on the day, and the day just feels extra loud. It just feels loud. The days are feeling louder and louder. And this loudness isn't a bad thing. It's just there seems to be a depth in which I don't even know the words to use for it. It's like the volume is being turned up in the external world. That's what it feels like. The volume is being turned up in the external world. And the crazy thing is, thank you so much for the super chat, Shungu. Do we go inward to better impact the outward? 100%. 100%. Here's the thing, and this is a big piece. If you guys are not part of my Patreon community, go and sign up just to listen to the Marilyn Monroe channeling. If there's no other reason why you go and sign up, go sign up to listen to the Marilyn Monroe channeling that I did this month. It was by far the most profound channeling I've done to date. And the reason that it was so profound is because of fear. She talked about fear. And when we are solely focused on the external world, we will find ourselves continuing to get caught up in fear. And fear is a tricky little thing because it will be disguised as this is knowledge, therefore it's power. This is information, which is, this gives you more ability to understand what's happening in the world. If there's programming that it's like, well, if I keep fighting against, then that which I'm fighting against will finally change. I need to keep standing up for ... otherwise ... will happen. It's all, if we actually were to be honest with ourselves, a large percentage of us that are focused on changing the external world are doing it from a standpoint of fear on some level. The problem is that we don't realize that. And so we're clouding it over. Thank you, Denise, for that super chat. Thank you so much. We're clouding it over with excuses as to why it's really, really important. And I'm not ever saying that it's not important to change the external world. What I'm saying is, if we don't go inward and recognize what we are most afraid of within our own inner world, if we can't sit with the darkest parts of ourselves, if we're running from emotion that's arising, if you're afraid to do something because you don't want to feel a certain thing, we've got problems. That's what we need to refocus on. Everything else is an absolute distraction from your own inner world. And again, this isn't a popular conversation. This doesn't get like hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube. Like, people don't want to go here. They want to continue to be distracted. They want to be told what's happening. They want to be told what's coming. They want to be told how to do things. And I get it. But trust me, we are all going to recognize that we are going to continue to see the same freaking bullshit year after year until humanity gets so tired of chasing that external that they slow the freak down and finally settle in and go into the most difficult place to be, which is inside of you. Richard, so good to see you. And thank you again for the super chat. I really appreciate it. The most difficult place that you and I can be right now is in our inner world. And when you start going into that inner world, you start to realize how powerful you are, how empowered you are, how free you are. You also start to realize how humbling it is to be in there, to sit. How many of us sit quietly doing nothing for 10 minutes? Last night, I sat in my bed for 10 minutes and I literally went crazy. And I'm someone that sits by myself all the time. And I was going crazy. I had just been watching something online and I didn't even realize that what I was watching was pulling my energy so much that when I finally sat and laid down and just closed my eyes and just sat, I did nothing, no music, no meditation, nothing. I just sat. It was so loud in my head. And that is what we need to be doing more and more and more of. We need to sit and let ourselves go crazy in our own minds so that we can get so familiar and comfortable with thought that we break free from any programming and control mechanisms. Because there is deep, deep control. They are getting so intelligent with the way that they are controlling us and manipulating us that if we don't go in, if we don't go into our own inner worlds every day, you will get pulled out. You will find yourself in fear. You will find yourself acting from fear. You will find yourself constantly chasing the external in order to find happiness or joy or peace or calm or stillness. And the sooner that you can master this, the sooner you can go and assist other humans in mastering it. And that's how we change the world. The other night, I was on the phone with a friend of mine, and we were I was laying on my bed. They were laying on their bed, and we were on the phone, and we just sat in silence for 60 minutes, probably 45, 50 minutes, silence. He was kind of guiding me, through like certain pointers, but I was just sitting in silence, right? And it was like I was on a mushroom trip. It was the trippiest freaking thing ever because I've been doing this practice for a while where I just sit and I listen to my thoughts and my thoughts when I do a practice and I just sit, it's like a movie screen. And I'm like I'm literally watching scenes from my life, whether it's in the future that I'm projecting or if it's already happened. But when a thought comes in, it creates a scene for me. So it literally feels like when I used to do mushrooms. If you've ever done mushrooms or any psychedelic, you're like watching movies, right? So the other night I was laying there in bed and it was just like these random scenes were coming up from when I was in my early 30s. And like it was like basically this kind of one time in my life between I think it was like 30 to 32 or something. I don't know. And like the weird things that I did. And it was just shooting scenes of like the night that I was stayed up all night and I was slept outside on this office building in San Francisco. And then my neighbor doing this and that. It was so trippy. And I was just watching. And I was recognizing that I wasn't attached to the thoughts. I wasn't attached to what I did or how I responded or how I was. I was just watching thought come and go. Was watching what wanted to be shown to me. I didn't need to figure it out. I didn't need to judge it. It was just a movie I was watching. There was a massive detachment. Okay. So it was like, which is how we're designed to be. We're not designed to be in thought. Okay. So in thought means that you are literally believing that you're the thoughts, which is how most of us live. And we don't even realize it. Thank you so much for that super chat again, Shungu Patsika. Um, I believe humanity is starting to get it. Yes, I think so too. I believe so too, my friend. So we're not designed to be in the thought. I am, sad. I am depressed. I am angry. Whatever it is, right? We're designed to be separate from it and watch it. Oh, look at this is arising. Oh, look at this is arising. Oh, look at this is arising. No judgment, right? Just takes a long time to practice that over and over and over again. So anyway, here I am laying in bed and I've got all these movie scenes going. I'm super entertained. I literally could sit for hours. I was so entertained. And I was not on any mushrooms. I wasn't on anything. I was just laying there. I was so excited to see like what scenes were coming next. And I'll be like, holy shit, I forgot I did that. Oh my God, I did that. Oh my God, I can't believe I behaved. Like just watching, right? Then all of a sudden, I was like, Lori, I'm talking to myself, right? So there was this detached kind of person that was there was an awareness, and then there was the kind of Lori playing the character that plays the character right now. And I was like, "You need to get," or I some awareness was said, "You need to get into your body." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I'm not in my body." And so then I swear to you, it was the craziest thing. I started squeezing my awareness back into my body. It was the trippiest freaking thing ever. So I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna close my eyes." Well, my eyes were already closed. I'm gonna imagine that I'm, like, moving into my head. Now I'm moving into my throat. Okay, what do my shoulders feel like? What does my chest feel like? What does my belly feel like? Can I feel my breath? Oh, here I am. And I start literally squeezing myself back down into my body. And then I'm like, ah. And all of a sudden, I'm like relaxed down into my body. Right. And so I'm in my body. So then I'm in my body and I start feeling all the energy moving through my body, still watching the screen. Right. And it's a powerful and profound moment of awareness where you realize, holy shit, like nothing has control over me. Nothing can control me. I am like this. You are so much more powerful than the emotions and the thoughts and the people out there that are telling you what to think and telling you what to fear and all the shit that's happening right now. We are these miraculous beings that are navigating this human experience, that chose to drop into this human body to do this. And when we sit with ourselves and explore that more and more, as opposed to it being some sort of, challenge, and it's difficult and I don't want to listen to my thoughts and I get fidgety, the more that we can just start practicing being fidgety, the more we can start practicing just listening to thought, the more you can practice just sitting, getting curious. Get curious with what you're feeling all day long, curious to what pulls you, curious to what angers you, curious to how riled up people get. Curiosity, right? Curiosity around all of it. The more you're going to be still and calm through this chaotic uh, unraveling and awakening. It's if we don't understand, we can't become free. It's this is a next level awakening, you guys. It's not for the faint of heart. And you know, so I had that experience, right? For an hour, I was just in absolute bliss. I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. I could sit here forever. And then yesterday, last night, it was torturous, right? 10 minutes and I was like in my head, in my head, in my head, in my head. And it was tight and crunchy and like there was I didn't want to, my body was fidgeting. I just didn't want to be doing it, which was fine as well. Um, but if we need to start recognizing, and we need to start paying attention to, and I encourage you to just start asking yourself this question right now, even as you're listening to this live or on the replay: what pulls you out of uh, presence right now? What pulls you out of what is right here, right now? How often are you distracted by something else or by someone else? It's just something to be curious about. It's extremely important to recognize how you feel before and how you feel after something. If we literally turned off, if we stopped looking out into the external world 99.9% of our day and instead looked inward 99.9% of our day, still did our lives, still went to work, took our kids to school, cooked foods, cleaned the house, did your errands. Life doesn't stop when you're inward. It just means that the focus is inward the entire time and not outward. You're not concerned about what other people are doing or thinking or feeling or wanting you to know or wanting you to understand. It's all such utter bullshit right now. It is so, so, so imperative that we stop. I'm telling you, it is that they are so smart right now. This is an energetic kind of battle that we're in, okay? Whether you want to believe that or not, it is. It's energetic. You can't see it, you can only feel it. And they are ramping up because we're awakening, okay? We are getting smarter. We're recognizing that we're no longer going to be programmed and mind controlled, and we're learning more and more information and blah blah blah, right? But they know the energies, the humans that have been controlling us for thousands of years, they know exactly what's happening right now and they know exactly what to do. Pull the human awareness out of the body. It's that simple. Make sure that they're not um they don't have time to be with themselves, right? So how do we do that? Well, we make it really difficult to survive, right? We squeeze them for every dollar they have. How else do we pull them out of the body? Well, we poison them. And that way they're not going to want to be in their bodies. It's not going to feel good. What else do we do? Well, we distract them with all kinds of interesting stuff that they're going to argue about and fight against. If you listen to the Marilyn Monroe channeling, she basically said, and again, yes, this is me just channeling some energy, but still resonated with me. She said that in basically like 90% of the information that we're being given and fed is information that the systems that are controlling us, they don't give a shit. It doesn't bother them. They don't care. It's like, whatever. Go ahead. It's not going to stop us having this information that's being given to us, whatever it is. Even if we're like, oh my God, we're realizing they're doing this and this and that. If it was going to stop them from continuing to control us, they would stop that information from being given to us. It doesn't matter what information is being given to us. What matters is, are you able to be inside with you in your body and feel? Can you feel the deepest sadness, anger, frustration, stress, anxiety, worry? Can you feel these things? Can you feel unworthiness? Can you feel these things so deeply that you realize it's no longer you and you free yourself because you freaking have finally died to it? Can you sit so deeply with the identifications of who you think you are? I'm a good mother, I'm a good teacher, I'm a good this, I'm not a good this, I'm not a good that, whatever the label is. I've got to be better at this. Whatever your labels are of who you think you are. And I promise you, they're probably coming up. I'm not a good enough, dot, dot, dot. I don't know how to be, dot, dot, dot anymore. These identifications are dying. It's called an ego death, right? They're dying. Can you sit with that? That's breaking free. That's breaking free. And so I hate to do these I hate to bring it back to what's happening on a collective level in terms of us being controlled, but it is a powerful energy right now on the planet. It's revving back up. Something's coming. I don't know what it is. It doesn't matter. Get in your body. You want to know the safest, most powerful place you can be? In your mother freaking body. Get in it. Refocus. Turn the lens back in. Please turn your lens back in. We don't get through this by focusing outward. This is a profound and powerful energetic game. I have seen things that it would blow your mind, you guys. It's I'm not going to talk about it, but there is massive, massive manipulation happening. Massive manipulation. I don't even know, it's shocking. It's shocking. And so if it's thank you, Danica, for that super chat. This the constant message that I'm gonna continue to bring forth for us right now is that they are controlling you through your mind by fear, and it's subtle. It's not gonna be, "Oh, there's another vaccine coming. Oh, be careful, there's another booster. Oh, be careful, there's another virus." That's not how they're gonna get you. They're already getting us through subtle distraction. That's how they're doing it. They know that we know the bullshit they pull. They know that that's not gonna work in the same way. So they drip this re that they're the way that we are being controlled would blow your fucking mind. It blow your mind. So until we realize that we have to go inward and stop paying attention, it will continue. It's as simple as sitting with yourself for 5 minutes a day, sitting with yourself for 10 minutes a day, sitting with yourself for 20 minutes a day. Going out in nature and actually watching a butterfly or watching the leaves fall from a tree or sitting and staring at water moving down a river, right? Thank you, Kelly, for the super chat. Thanks, Kate, for the super chat. The ego deaths are incredibly uncomfortable. An ego death, you guys, is an identification with an aspect of you that you think that you are that has the ability to be controlled. Okay? And what that means is that you believe, let's just give myself as an example. I believe that I am a teacher, okay? And if I continue to play in this world, the external world's going to pull me into believing that I have to show up a certain way, believing that I have to have a certain amount of followers or a certain amount of likes or a certain amount of whatever it is. Okay, that's the external world pulling me through the lens of my identification with being a teacher. The external world holds these energies that control us. Social media controls us. The way in which if you make money online like I do, God bless you, because you have to play in this fucked up world. And if you're a mom, there's an external program that's going to tell you a good way to be a mom, a bad way to be a mom, right? And if you're identified as the mom, which obviously you're a mom, obviously I'm a teacher, okay? That's obvious. But if you're attached to it, meaning that it has to look a certain way. It has to be presented in a certain way. There's judgments around it. That's the attachment to it. Then it's always going to be controlled in some sort of external way. It's going to feel really uncomfortable. Okay? And the more that we wake up, the more that we realize that we have these attachments to identifications. And when it starts to get extremely uncomfortable, that's when it starts to die. And the extremely uncomfortable is the loud thoughts that come in telling you you're not good enough. I'm not a good enough teacher. You're not a good enough mother. You should be doing it this way. You should be doing it that way. That is an external collective energy that has moved into your body to create thought forms that aren't you, that are creating the illusion that you have to be different than how you actually are because you're identified with that label. You're identified with that persona. And these personas, these identifications are going to continue to die through a deep, deep, uncomfortable death because you have to actually hear and feel the thought forms that you believe to be true about yourself. And as you allow those to come in, as you allow yourself to feel those, as you allow yourself to humbly be like, oh my fucking God, look at what I have believed about myself for so long. And you just let it burn you. and you just listen to all that little chatter, it starts to dissolve. You break free. And the breaking free from these identifications is breaking free from the matrix as well, from the external world. Now it doesn't matter what the powers that be, the external world, social media, it doesn't matter what they tell me how I should or shouldn't be. Now, this isn't somebody saying you need to be like this. This is an energy. This is an energetic experience. So there's this strange, weird energy that you feel. And you're like, it's like a web that you get pulled into. And you're like, how do I get out? Something's pulling me into this weird, messed up web where I feel like I have to be a certain way and show up a certain way. And I just want to get out of it. I want to just come back to me. I don't want to have to play in this bullshit anymore, right? It's because you're energetically being pulled into the external web that controls you and tells you how to be in the world. It's been happening since the moment you dropped into the human body. We immediately are pulled out into the external web of this world that controls us. Our parents were like that, their parents were like that, their parents were like that. And this is the time on the planet where we literally break the web. We cut the web. The spider breaks free from that web, or the fly breaks free from the spider web. And it's no longer reacting and responding from what the external world tells it. Programs, conditioning, thought forms. That's the ego deaths that are occurring for all of us. And then what ends up happening is you start to become and you start to step out into the world as your true expression, as spirit in form, playing a character, but you're still coming from a really pure, empowered, sovereign, free, calm state. It doesn't mean you don't have all the emotions. You have every emotion that arises. But that emotion is invited to come in and then it's invited to go out as soon as it needs to. Doesn't mean you don't have thought. You're going to have thought for the rest of your life. It's just that you're starting to actually realize the potency and power of thought. You're no longer choosing to play in the thoughts. Some thoughts you play in, some thoughts you don't. And so this is the game that we're in right now. This is it. You want to become your most empowered version. You want to become spirit and form. You want to become, you know, you want to feel calm. You want to feel peace. You want to feel empowered. You want to become the leader that you came here to be. You got to turn your focus inward. You just do every moment of every day. You got to sit in, if you go for a walk or you go sit at the park or you do something outside, slow down so much that you're in awe. You're in absolute awe of the dirt. You're in absolute awe of the grass. You're in absolute awe of the birds. Can you hear the birds' wings? If you have a moment just to sit, maybe you don't have time. Your life's too busy. Okay, so when you're in the shower, can you be in awe of the water hitting your body? Can you be in awe of your hands or your feet? These subtle shifts are profoundly powerful. They will immediately shift you. Thank you, Katis, for the super chat. I really appreciate that. This is how we change the world. Your number one purpose for being on the planet is to awaken out of the illusion that you're thought and emotion and behavior, and that you're actually spirit and form. And then you start to walk as spirit and form. Not easy. Might take us a while. That's your number one purpose. And when you are that, then there's love and kindness and compassion, humility. You're no longer trying to do it better than somebody else. You're no longer feeling incompetent, insecure, right? Those emotions may move through you, but you're just watching it move through you. You know that it's not you. It's just part of the humaning that you're doing as the character. That's the number one reason that you're here. Everything else is secondary, third, fourth, fifth, whatever. But you raised your little spirit hand and you said, yeah, let's go down. I'm going to try to do this. And then when you do that, when you wake up out of the illusion of the physical reality, then you change the world. You change the world. And you're gonna notice as you start doing this more and more how, how the external world seems sillier and sillier, like a circus. You're just not interested anymore. You're just not. You realize what actually truly matters. You realize that life is passing us by. Every moment that we are concerned about what is happening in the external world, we are missing the most beautiful moments. We're missing life, the breath of life, the vibration of life. The all of it. If they can continue to keep us in the illusion that we have to fight against them, they've got us. I wish I could share some of these examples with you, but I can't. Um, but um, just go inward. It's This is a long roller coaster ride, train ride that we're on. This is a long journey that we have. It's a long journey. And so we got to start doing it differently. We got to start doing it differently. You know, I've said this before and I'll say it again. If we really wanted to change the world, okay? If we really wanted to change the world pretty quickly, we would cut ourselves off from every single distraction and story that's out there. Any story that comes up. And what I mean by that is that you wouldn't feed into it. Doesn't mean you don't help people that are in need. You do that. We assist humanity. We give to people that don't have. That's not what I'm saying. Kindness is always going to be in the forefront if you're inward. But there won't be all the other distractions of who's right and who's wrong. What we focus on and what we continue to ignite in the fire is what will continue to be perpetuated on the planet. And so it's just a way of continuing to disempower us. I don't know. This message is just continuing to come in. It won't stop coming in. I don't know why. It's truly the only message that I'm receiving right now is this message. So I'll just keep repeating it, as boring as it may be, because it's that powerful, it's that important. It really is. And it's not that we ignore what's happening. I want to make that clear. You're not ignoring what's happening on the planet. You're just realizing how they control you through what's happening on the planet. Can you stay inward? Can you have an inward focus while you listen to what's happening and you assist in whatever way you want to assist? But is there an inward focus? Are you aware of what you're feeling? Are you aware of what you're thinking? Are you aware of how you're reacting? Are you aware of how you're responding? Are you aware of what's going on in your inner world as you are responding and reacting? If we cut off the focus to so many of these things that are happening out there, they go away. It's like a bully on a playground. The more we focus on the bully, and say, "Oh my god, there's a bully on the playground. He's coming over and he's gonna fight us, and we have to stand up for ourselves." It's like, that's true, unless you just walk away. Then the bully has nothing to do. Then it tries to go find somebody else to bully. It needs to bully somebody. It needs to create that drama. It needs drama. So we're being fed drama after drama after drama after drama, I promise you. And it's not about whether that drama is true or not. It's about how you are being in that drama. Nothing This drama isn't stopping. It's gonna be here for years. One drama arises, everybody freaks out and focuses on it. It goes away. Another drama comes up. Everybody focuses on it, fights about it, divides about it, gets all up in arms, and then that one goes away. And then another one comes up. And so we're constantly just waiting. We feed off of that drama. Here comes another bully. Okay, wait, we better get ready. We gotta we learned how to fight that last bully. Let's fight this bully now. And then we're gonna really get them. The bullies are just gonna keep coming. You have to walk away from the bully. You just walk away and go sit by a tree and hang out. And then there's other people on the playground that are like, "Don't you see this bully?" You're like, "Yeah, but come sit by this tree. It's fucking amazing." You're like, "No, I gotta fight this bully." You're like, "You actually don't. The bullies are just gonna be there. Come sit by this tree and hang out for a second." And then all of a sudden, the next thing you know, more humans are chilling. And then more humans are chilling. And then more humans are chilling. And so it starts to shift. Instead of everybody on the playground fighting the bullies, and the bullies just are feeding off of it. Yes, yeah. Whether they get beat up or not, they don't give a shit. They're feeding off of it. And the next thing you know, there's less people fighting the bullies and there's more people just chilling on a fuck by a freaking tree, hanging out, being like, damn. And a bully comes over, they don't fight, they just chill out. And the bully's like, why aren't you trying to fight me? I don't give a shit. Next, I'm hanging out by a tree. I'm chilling. I'm like, I'm good. I'm not buying into your bullshit energy anymore. I don't need to fight against you. I don't need to feed you. You can go and play and do whatever the freak you're going to do. I'm going to impact the entire human collective, not by showing them how to fight against the bullies, but by how to be in this and no longer participate in fighting against the bullies. The bullies are always going to be there until they're not, period. We have a choice how we're going to be in this. This is not about ignoring the bullies. You sit down, you're hanging out by the tree, you're watching the bullies, you're helping humans that are perhaps getting beat up by being like, "Hey, come over here. I've got some water for you. You're actually really safe and free over here." The people fighting the bullies are like, "Absolutely not. I can't just walk away from these bullies." No, 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 watch. Come here. Just come here for a second. Then they come and they sit down with you for a little bit and they're completely in awe because they're kind of free and they're in peace. And they realize like, wow, the bully is also them. The bully has never been anything other than God themselves. They're just playing out the role. And it's just a matter of how you're going to play in it. It's just God playing God and God playing different roles of God. That's all this is. It's just God playing different roles of God. And each moment we have a choice. as to how we're going to be in it, right? So we have to start to realize what's the most empowered state to be in. And I think eventually, as more and more of humanity awakens and is fighting against the bullies, we'll start to realize, holy shit, it's not about fighting against the bullies. Or you watch these YouTube videos and it's like, "Oh my god, what's gonna happen in this time and this, and then what's gonna happen and this and this and this." And it's like, that's basically like the same analogy of standing on the playground and recognizing there's all these bullies, and then seeing over there where the bullies kinda hang out. You're like, "Oh my god, okay, there's all these bullies over there, and they're now gonna do this and this and this." And it's like, "Oh shit, okay, so how do we prepare to make sure that we're good when those new bullies come over?" So you're like trying to prepare, and you're trying to like go out into the future, and you want to feel super safe. So you're like, okay, there's bullies over in that corner that are going to come out. They've got these kinds of gear on and blah blah blah, right? You're just simply playing in the game. You can do it, but you fighting against the bullies aren't going to stop the bullies from coming. You recognizing that the way to change the entire game is to step out of the game and to hang out in your absolute most empowered state, which is inside of you, in you, in here. Who are you? Who are you? Can you be in your body, in the body? Can you be in this? Or do you need to continue to fight the bullies because you're afraid to actually be who you are? You're afraid to be inside the body. You're afraid to pay attention to thought. It's too intense. Emotion, it's too intense. Patterns, behaviors that you do, it's too intense. It is much easier to fight the bullies. It's much easier to get distracted and to continue to perpetuate the game. But when you finally realize, holy shit, this is an internal battle. I got to go and chill out and activate, descend back down into body and activate who I am as spirit in form over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, so that I can remind the rest of the humans on the playground of who they are. And then the more and more humans that sit down by the tree and say, "Holy shit. Wow." The less humans the bullies have to fight against. And eventually it's dried up and there's no one on the playground, and the bullies are like, "Now what the freak do we do?" That's how you change an entire human collective. You step out of the game. And the more that the bullies realize that humans are waking up out of the game, not by fighting against them. That's what they want. Okay. The bullies want you to keep fighting, to keep talking about them, you know, to keep arguing about them, focusing on them. Focus on the bullies. Good. That's what they want. The more we stop doing that, the more they will pull out all of their cute little energetic tricks to get you to still focus on them. It's all a profound, powerful, holy shit, energetic web and manipulation, mind control. You're on the playground. There's bullies. It is what it is. You change the entire world by sitting with yourself through it, recognizing there's nothing to fear. Let me give you an example of what I mean by this, because a lot of people may say, well, that doesn't make any sense. We still have to stand up for our rights. Of course you do. Go and sit by a tree and hang out and stop paying attention and realize how free you are. the choices that you have. And even if you have to play in the game, I still have to pay taxes and I have to do thank you, Steve, for the super chat. We still have to play in the on the playground. Like even if we're sitting by the tree, we're still playing. The playground's still there. The web's still there. The game is still there. We're here to be in this game. We're here to be in the game. We're not here to completely turn the game off, walk away, and say, I'm not in the game. No, 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 no. We're here to be in the game. Holy shit, the World Wide Web. Oh my God, the World Wide Web. Holy shit. Wait, this is the first time that truly hit me, Mike. The World Wide Web. Oh God, that is so dangerous. Is this hitting anybody else for the first time? Yeah, exposing the bullies is a beautiful thing to do. It's a powerful, powerful thing to do. Um, and I would say that when you expose the bullies, the energy that you're holding and exposing them is hopefully from a very empowered, loving, kind place. You know, um, it's really important to expose the bullies. It's important to do those types of things, but it's important to realize that they're not going anywhere. We want to teach people, how to be empowered by being able to be in their own inner world. The World Wide Web. Holy fuck. Oh, Lord. We're doing it, you guys. We really are. We're doing it, and however you're doing it and however you're being in it is absolutely incredible and absolutely miraculous and amazing, and every moment that you stand up for yourself and your family and your truths, powerful. Every moment that you are sitting in your own, internal world and dying over and over again, beautiful. Anytime that you are numbing yourself out, beautiful. Anytime you are in denial, beautiful. Like whatever we're in, beautiful. Welcome to the human experience. Like there isn't a there this is a messy masterpiece. It's a messy, messy masterpiece that is quite miraculous. And it's hard to not get caught up in the playground. It really is. But it's also such a beautiful gift to be on the planet, to be alive, and to be here right now. It really is. There's so much beauty in this world. There's so much beauty. There's uh, there's so much magic in this world. If we focus on that a little bit more and a little less on you know, the darker things, gets a little easier. I mean, just go look at how a bird flies. Go look at a flower, a freaking flower. Go if you have the ability to smell a flower, tell me how the heck that happens, you know? How does this have such a potent, beautiful smell? Um, you know, we've got to start balancing the magic and miracle of life with the holy shit. What in the heck? How are we gonna get out of this? And one last thing, because it's 10 o'clock. It's the more this is a natural evolution in consciousness. So what that means is that even though the human thinks they are in control, okay, we're not really in control of this evolution. And so whether we want to be on the path of awakening or not, we're all going to start awakening more and more. And there's levels or kind of layers to this awakening, I believe. And many of us in the next couple of years, and most of you have already gone through these kind of initial phases where you are pummeled into your own beingness and you start to feel so much more and you start to recognize all of your thoughts. And there's just a profound courageousness that you guys are all experiencing right now through your own internal awareness. But more and more humans are going to be pummeled into this, and not necessarily through some sort of catastrophic event like a COVID again. Okay. But just simply by being on the planet, it's like this slow burn that's happening. And more humans are going to start to recognize that they can't any longer get out of what they've used to be able to get out of. Humans are going to start to realize that they can't fix what they used to be able to fix. What they used to be able to get rid of, they can't get rid of, things like that, right? And so they're going to get desperate. They're not going to know what to do. They're going to break down. More and more humans are going to kind of break down, which just means they're letting go. They're starting to recognize that they've been gripping this web, right? And the web isn't going to be able to help them anymore. They've got to let go, they've got to drop, they've got to fall, and they fall back into the arms of themselves, which is what you and I are doing, which is not easy because nobody catches you but you. No one. No one can catch you but you know? And that's the deep programming that we're dropping out of, is that something outside of you is going to catch you. You know, if I hang on tight enough to this web, the web is going to save me. You know, the external world is what's going to save me. And we've got to be aware of, no, it's not. That web isn't going to save me. What saves me is when I have the courage to let go, to drop, to stop all of the ways in which I've been in this world. You know, and then once you've done that, then you can kind of stand back up, right? And dust your clothes off. And you'll keep falling back. You'll keep falling back into you over and over and over again. But you'll be able to start kind of dusting your clothes off and like letting people know that are grabbed onto that. I forgot who it was in here that was like, "Oh, I'm going to keep exposing," right? The bullies. It's like you're gonna dust your clothes off and you're gonna look up at the web with all the millions of humans grabbing the web, and you're gonna be like, "Dude, you're on a web. Let go of the web." And they're gonna be like, "What? What do you mean I'm on a web? No, I'm not. I'm just doing this and this." No, you're in a web. Right? So you're gonna try to help people and share information and try to get them to let go of the web, but people are not gonna let go of the web until they're ready, you know? And so the more that you can be outside of the web, the more that you can be free, the more that you can be in your own being, the more that you can allow thought, the more that you can allow every emotion. The people that are grabbed tight to the web, that are listening to all these different people and following all these different distractive stories right now, the more they turn and see you completely just like good, thanks for the super chat. Just like, oh, okay. Because you're mastering your emotions, meaning you're allowing emotion, you're allowing thought, you're not getting caught up. The more they see you being in that way, the more they're going to trust. They're going to say, oh, maybe I can just let go. You seem to be not in as much anxiety or stress or worry. Doesn't mean you don't experience anxiety, stress, or worry. That's always moving through. Perhaps, maybe it doesn't move through anymore. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It just moves. If it comes into your body, it just moves through. But they're going to start to trust you. They're like, oh, huh, interesting. You're moving through this. You're aware of everything, but somehow you're not responding and reacting with anger and fear and resentment and all that other stuff. What's that like? It's like, come down, check it out, let go, let go. Anyway, that's it. Untangled, episode 62, complete. If you liked this video, like it. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's funky algorithms going on right now on YouTube. So subscribe, then you'll get a notification when I go live each week. If you want to join Align 4.0, free yourself from that web. The link is down below. We start next Wednesday, October 4th. Super, 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 super excited about it. Um, Pay attention, you guys. Pay attention to being on the playground. You know, go out and be in life more. Go be in life more. Go be around strangers. Talk to random people that you don't know. Listen to the birds, like sit on the grass, stare at grass, like slow down. Get off of social media, get off of the screens, get in the world, get out of the web, get off the playground. Stop buying into the stories that this is something you need to pay attention to and worry about because it's for your highest good and it's information and knowledge and it's going to give you power. That is absolute and utter bullshit that they're going to continue to throw down your necks to control you. I promise you. It just feeds anxiety, stress, and worry. It just feeds it. We're good. We're fucking good. We are good. We are designed to nail this. We're designed to fly and soar through this. We're designed to be free. We're designed to be out of suffering. We're designed to be able to feel anything, no matter what. We're designed to be freaking rock stars. That's why we're here. We came here to master this, to stand in all of it and to be like, I am a freaking rock star. I am a magnificent freaking consciousness in a form called human body, right? And nothing is going to dilute or take away who I am as consciousness and form and why I came here. We've got to get that like badassery. Thank you, Mike, for the super chat. That like really warrior and warrioress type of energy that's grounded in our beingness, not based in fear, right? Like you're not going to fuck with me. You're not going to take my energy. You're not going to throw fear down my throat. You're not going to tell me what to think. You're not going to tell me what to feel. You're not going to tell me what to be afraid of. You're not going to tell me what I need to know and what I don't need to know because it's for my highest good and it's going to give me power. Screw you all. I'm going to go into my inner world. I'm going to stand in this. I'm going to feel everything that's arising. I'm going to pay acute attention to all the thoughts that move through my own inner world. And I'm going to walk out and I'm going to devour this human life. I'm going to be kind. I'm going to be compassionate. I'm going to be loving. I'm going to be free. And that means I'm going to feel everything. I'm going to pay attention to all my programming. And all my patterns and all the ways in which I am in states of suffering. But I'm going to do it. You're going to do it inside your physical body over and over and over and over. And you're going to walk outside and you're going to realize what an absolute freaking gift it is to be on the planet. You're going to tell everyone else to go screw themselves that's trying to convince you that there's something to be afraid of. And that there's something that you need to pay attention to that will distract you from your highest expression, which is being inside your body, being kind and loving and compassionate, humble, grateful. Everything else is a distraction and a pull into fear. And you humbly and lovingly try to perhaps remind people of what they're in and what's happening. That's okay too. But we are designed to rock this. We're designed to stand in such a powerful place. Like, get out of my freaking way. You are not controlling me. The me that I think I am. You're not. No more. No more. So pay attention to what you feel before you turn something on and after you turn something on. Pay attention to how you feel before you converse with someone and after you converse with someone. Pay attention to how you feel before and after everything. Before you turn on social media, after you turn on social media, before you listen to a YouTube, and after you listen to a YouTube. How are you feeling? That's how you know if you're being controlled. You need to be acutely aware of how you feel before and how you feel after. And if you are anxious, stressed, worried, in fear, aggressive, divided, judgmental, pay attention to that. If you feel empowered, if you feel strong, if you feel safe, if you feel free, if you feel excited, then pay attention to that. Forget, thank you, Non, for the super chat. Forget about what is logically being given to you. How are you feeling? And that is how you become free. That's how you become a badass. That's how you become the warrior and the warrioresses that we're here to be on this planet. The mind and the logic and the information is secondary to the beingness, how you are being, how you are feeling. If they can keep you in mind, they can control you. They can't control you when you are in your beingness. It's impossible. It's the most empowered, try it. Keep trying it. Keep doing it. The most empowered place you can be is in the body feeling. Because you can't manipulate feeling. You can't manipulate energy. You can't. You can't manipulate how I feel before and how I feel after. Like only I know that. But if I'm not in the body feeling that and I'm only in my mind thinking and processing information, then I can be told what to think and feel and do and be. But when I drop into my body, nobody has that. Nobody can take that from me. Nobody can take you being in the body from you. It's the most empowered, profound, empowered place you can be. Get in the body, feel everything. Don't run from emotion. Pay attention to thought. Okay, that's it. I'll see you guys next Tuesday for episode 63 of Untangled. Pass this video along to anybody that would resonate or would benefit from hearing the information. Because again, YouTube is not passing my stuff along right now. So any help is greatly appreciated. I love you guys. Thanks for being on the planet at this time. Thanks for being the badass rock stars that you are, for continuing to remember why you came into the human form. I promise you, you don't want to get out of it. As much as you may think sometimes you want to get out of it, I promise you, you don't want to leave. You don't. You want to see this through. You want to see how far your evolution can go. Be more kind and more compassionate and more loving to humans. We don't know what they're going through. And they're doing the best they can. Every human is God in form. Every human is God in form. Even if they have reptilian energies in them, they are still God in form. A reptilian is still God in form. Okay. Every consciousness is God. It's all God. It's all God. Okay. Love you guys. Mwah.